Hey guys, and welcome back to the Life with Bonnie YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be reviewing your websites. I love these kinds of videos. They're one of my favorites to film because I think that websites are such an important way to be able to really educate people on what you do, show the benefits, the features, what is good in the hood, and then finally getting people to convert into the desired action that you wish. So it's going to be exciting to be able to unlock all the opportunities that we can for these people's websites. Let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and the very first inquiry that came through on our socials, so if you're not following us yet, you can follow us at Bonnie Media, and then also you can follow mine at Life with Bonnie, is Alice Bleethman. So she's the first one we're gonna be reviewing today, and so Alice is a dietitian. She's a dear friend of mine as well, so it's gonna be very exciting to go and review her site and give it some goodness. So let's go. Okay, so first when I land here, you can see that it says, wanna be a VIP, get the latest nutrition goss, and then your first name and then your email address. So I think this is great. I think it's awesome that she's starting off with a pop-up to be able to collect information. Big thumbs up. Just looking at the whole design of the site, everything's in capital letters, and then we've kind of got a bit of a different experience where it says wanna be a VIP with a lowercase w. I would probably look to make that an uppercase W and potentially change the font. There's about 4, 5, 6 different fonts happening at once. The other thing that I noticed is that the pop-up image is the same image as like the background image. So it's kind of like a repeat of the same thing. I would probably look to have a different image as your pop-up image so that you can really entice people in another way. On first glance, this is really beautiful in terms of the vibe, the aesthetic, the brand. I'm definitely painting a picture here of who you are and what your personality is like. One thing that I noticed in the top left is that your category menu is different sizes in terms of spacing across. I would probably look to make that a little bit more consistent across the line, as it looks a little bit uncommon. Either way, we'll keep going down. First of all, it's very stylized as I'm going through the site. I think something that would be really powerful is if you have testimonials. I think right now I'm feeling, like I definitely trust that you're very thoughtful, very considerate, and that you're very kind in your approach. I think what would help me feel a little bit more drawn to the service is if I can see some testimonials of people who have, say, gone and done an initial consult or have gone and done a review consult online with you. I think that will really help. Yeah, email me is good. I'm happy with that. I would probably just say to make the email me clickable, because at the moment I'm just sort of hovering over it and I don't know that that actually is hyperlinked, so that's something to keep in mind. And then, yep, that looks great. The other thing that I would say is that it's so good that you have spacing and letting things breathe. I would encourage you that as you go further down, you have a lot of spacing, and I would probably look to see if you could tie it in a little bit more. Maybe it's something that, you've got quite a lot of white space, that maybe the Ready to Bravely Bear It All could be maybe in like a different colored background, and even if it's just like a small rectangle, just to kind of break it up and condense it down. That would be my only thing. And then I would look to see if we can really bring more size to your images. Some of the sizes of your images on your site are a little bit small, and we really want to be able to see and be converted by the captivating imagery. The other thing that I recommend is potentially having photos of food and like different colors of the rainbow when it comes to the different foods and things that you have or would recommend. I think that will really help get people excited about what they're coming to get a consult for. Okay, I think one thing here, I'm trying to click on clinic, but it's not letting me click through. But the arrow did. So just as a heads up, your clinic down the bottom is not clicking through. Okay, Alice, I've just landed on your collabs page, so let's walk through this. So coming down here, I can see exactly the types of things that you would be able to create for people. Some of the brands that you've worked with is brilliant. The one thing that I would note is that on our screen here, you'll see that one of the logos is completely off to the side there. I would look to replace that immediately. The other thing is that I think that this could probably be a little bit more kinder in its layout. You have Remedy, which is super clear to see, and then you have like your F45, your Daniel Wellington, looking a little bit blurry in nature. And I just think there's a way that you could really make this quite stylized and almost move along the page. So just as a little bit of an advice there. The other thing that I would mention is that there is a big line going through your page at the moment that's kind of blocking your last name and your subject line. So I would look to see if you can fix this. And in addition, if I was a business owner that was looking to work with you, I'd be wanting to get an idea of some of your metrics. So some of your reach, some of your engagement, like just really see what you're capable of from an influence perspective, because I think there's no doubt that you're a great content creator and take great photos of yourself. I think in addition, and food. In addition, I think it would be really good for people to see like, hey, you actually get a lot of conversations moving, and that's a huge part that I know about you. So I would look to integrate that into your page as well, because I think you'll convert a lot of people once you have that on your site as well. Now we're moving on to a company called abidesupply, which is a merchandise company that services non-profits, which is a really unique and fun business, and I'm excited to walk through today. So I've landed on the page and instantly I can see that they've really made clear what their product is, which is fantastic. When I clicked on the learn more, it actually took me straight to about us, which is probably not like the ideal way to get people shopping. So I would probably look to actually take off this, and maybe there's another way that they can get people moving throughout the site. I know that there are quite a lot of services, so maybe there's an area that goes see our services, so instantly you can know what services you offer when you do sell merchandise, like what merchandise. So I'd probably look to take it there instead. Then say if I click on graphic design and we click in, I think this is great to see your very first landing page is graphic design. Would have loved to have seen probably more examples, so like what kind of graphic design do you do, and can you give us an example of what a finished product can look like? Right now, I'm kind of seeing a sketch in motion and really nice painted nails, but I'm not too sure about your capabilities. So that would be some advice there. Another thing is that you have a real opportunity to showcase testimonials and case studies to really further this product along. Now heading into bulk apparel here. So this is cool. So you can see, view our preferred supplier catalog. And when I clicked into this, it took me to, I believe it was this one here, which is 118 pages and a lot of information. So I think this is fantastic that you give it up front and that you have a button there if they want to get a free quote after. I'm a big fan of this. I think below though, it would be really good to understand what these images are and what they mean. And potentially maybe you could give an example of like, this is color white XYZ, or this is color black, and actually guide people who may like what you've supplied find it themselves when they are looking at that supplier catalog. Then I'm clicking into screen printing, kind of a similar experience. I would love to see where, like, what is your end result of being able to produce screen printing and who has used it before, and what can you say that you've done to really showcase this product. Same here with product photography. I just think you have gotten a good start on all of these landing pages for your services. Would I say that this is ultimately converting me? I think I would need just a little bit more information to be sure, particularly if I was a cold lead coming through. Anywho, let's continue scrolling down. Love that you have a case study. I think that this is fantastic, and it's really good that you followed a methodological approach, which is challenge, insight, and solution to help people. And then I can see that you've got some goals and some really great messaging about yourselves, which is fantastic. Then I scroll down and see clients. It might be good because you've got 4 in a row and then 1 at the bottom to see how you could maybe either have 8 or just 4, and then maybe there's a button that says see more and you can see more of the clients that you have on your books. Then we have testimonies. I feel like this is quite an uncommon word. Maybe you could change it to testimonials. And I would also look to maybe make that logo a little bit more easier to see, or maybe showing someone's face or humanizing these brands a little bit more. Okay, awesome. So now we're onto our final site, and this is called Allure Collective. So we can see here we land, we can see the logo straight away, subscribe and get 10% off your purchase. Awesome. Looks like it only takes mobile number, which is really interesting. I would see if potentially you could also capture an email, because then you get that email for the lifetime of your brand. So see if you can do both. I think this would be really good if you can achieve this. Okay, cool. So we've landed here on the site and we can see that the very top announcement bar says, want to see an item restocked? Email us. I feel like this could potentially be better utilized for something like free shipping over X dollars, or hey, buy now, pay later with Afterpay. I think at the moment, seeing that restocked is kind of the main messaging is quite uncommon. And I think that there's a lot more that you could do to get people down the funnel and shopping versus thinking that you're completely sold out, which you might be, I'm about to find out. Then I can see here that there's a word capsule. So to me, this kind of tells me, are you a capsule collection? Am I about to look at a capsule? It does look clickable, so I'm gonna click in. Okay, and then I can see that at the moment I've then been taken to a category page. I'm gonna go back to the home page and come back to this. But I feel like this was good, but it would have been good for you to give maybe a bit more of an explanation as to what capsule is and why should I click through, particularly when there wasn't a product. Awesome, so I can see a bit of a preview. Okay, so I can see that you've laid it out via a different collection, I assume. Maybe it's good for you to actually reference that these are different collections that are on your homepage. Awesome, highly visual, and great to see that you have reviews. I think this is really good. I think what would really take this to the next level is potentially just having a bit of maybe a newer type of layout on your website. I think it's really cool you're getting straight to the grunt of it, straight into the products. It might be just a nice idea to also show who you are as a brand, and also just potentially a overarching banner that can kind of bring people some more information about you. Then we can also see that you've got the homepage here in the category menu. Now, I think because looking at your demographic, they are a little bit younger of a demographic, you might be able to remove the home. People are very well versed to know that the logo on a homepage takes you back to the homepage. And I think that instead we could really utilize this space a lot more to have other things in your category menu. So as I can see here, I open up the shop by, and at the moment I feel like your category menu is quite clear. So what we could do is actually potentially put every single capsule collection in the category menu instead, and people could shop by collection, or maybe shop by type, or maybe shop by new arrivals, best sellers. I think there's a real opportunity to make that experience a lot more exciting. So maybe you could have instead new arrivals, best sellers, shop by type, and then shop by collection. And then I think that will make it look so much more full and be a much more exciting category menu. Anyway, we're gonna click through. So I'm gonna click on shop by tops. Amazing, I'm gonna click through. These are really large images. Love that the cart scrolls with you. I think that's awesome. The other thing as well that I would like to mention is that I don't see any of the 4 equal installments of buy now, pay later with Afterpay. I think you integrating into your site will up your conversion rates a lot, and also help that type of customer that likes part payment options. Great to see that you have a bundle app. I think this is really, really cool, and I'm really impressed that you have this. So I can see here that at the moment you're charging your customers shipping. I wanted to see if maybe there's room for you to increase the price of your products a little bit by around $5 to $10, and then therefore charge your customers free shipping. You might want to do this that it's over a certain amount so that you can of course cover your costs, but I do think you'll up your conversion rates if you implement this feature. And then also what I would do is just look at this info part of your category menu and move a lot of that into the footer. I think things like about us and contact us and blog, they're very commonly found in the footer, not in the category menu, and it takes people away from shopping. So feel free to add it more so down here. You could add it more on that left-hand side potentially, and then have a lot more navigation opportunities there. Okay, that's it guys. I wanted to just walk you through 3 sites that I was sent at total random. I've never seen any of them before, so definitely bear with me as I was getting my bearings and exploring the sites. Reviewing sites is such a pleasure because there's always room and opportunities to grow and further finesse your work. So really exciting, some beautiful brands, and they're doing some really wonderful things. So it was a pleasure to go through them, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye. Meme marketing. And it sounds silly, but I actually really want to put forth this to you, that meme marketing could be one of the different content types that you can do to get yourself underway to a successful business.